Can't you make your point short and sweet? I mean, why do you have to let a whole fight fester like a long, dragged-out fight? I mean, can't you offer him a cup of tea? You know, you need to get yourself back into the bedroom. If you're going to go for counseling or you're going to go to a rabbi, the first thing they're going to ask you is what's going on in your bedroom. So you better get yourself back in the bedroom, you know. Your husband needs comforting too. It's not easy for him to go out and work and go to shul and face people having this like lingering stupid fight with his wife. I mean, you could offer him a cup of tea. If your son was taking a big test, wouldn't you tell him, oh, have a good breakfast, honey, and you would treat him good? You wouldn't like hassle him and fight with him, make him all stressed out if you knew he was having a stressful test? Men have a stressful test every day in business. Business isn't what it used to be. There's no money to be made out there. You know, you really have to try hard. Half the men are unemployed. So you're going to fight with him? How hard do you want to make it? Okay, then you want to blame, all the money comes from Hashem. Yeah, well, you know what? Hashem is in your house too. You put your hand up on the mezuzah, you walk in your door, Hashem is dwelling with you. Isn't he? Well, unless you're chasing him away. Don't chase Hashem out of your household, because it's not going to bring any blessing at all. And when you ramble and nag, they think, it's just PMS. My wife's, she's out of control. You're not out of control. You are not out of control. You are making your point short and sweet and moving on to the next thing and showing him that you love him and that you're not going to dwell on it. Nip that fight in the bud. You do realize that if this continues, he's just going to want to avoid the house. He's going to come home as late as possible just to avoid the tornado. You want to have a house that he wants to come home to. The reason why you have to keep it short and sweet is because he'll take you seriously when you keep it short and sweet. When you ramble and nag and ramble, I just think, my wife's whining, my wife's nagging. Make your point, 10 words or less. Make your point short and sweet and get out of that fight. Don't fester those fights. Don't build that up. He's just going to think you're like PMS or you're rambling. They don't have patience for that. Men have a lot of things on their mind. They have to go out and make a living. They have to go to shul and face all those people in shul. And they just have so much going on the outside of your house that you don't even realize because you're just like inside, taking care of things inside. But a man doesn't want to hear a whole big speech, a whole big fight. He's not going to apologize. He's not going to dwell on it. You're going to dwell on it. You're going to dwell on it. And it's not so hard to just offer him a cup of tea, Would you send your kid to school without breakfast? No. And what do you want him to do? Go talk to the rabbi? And then the first thing the rabbi's going to ask him is, what's going on in the bedroom? So you better take care of that first. It's Shabbat. Stay on your Shabbat routine and just smooth it over. You could offer him a cup of tea. Break the ice. You're his wife, and he's depending on you to be that warm, wonderful person that he loves. Don't send him out like a dog. And if you're not motivated to make up, think of your kids. Do you really think that they're going to do good in school and be happy and well-adjusted when their parents are, mood monsters around the house and you have this face, You got to keep that peace in the house, the Shalom Bayit. That's what the Shalom Bayit is. That's what the Shalom Bayit is. Your kids are going to see how you act. And you're going to respect your husband at the same time. And at the same time, it's multitasking because they're going to learn how to treat their husbands and their wives when they get married. You don't want them coming back to you later with all that stupidity. You want them to get married and be happy. And the easiest way is to be the example. Don't worry who your kids are going to marry. Be the example. Set the example. Show them that you could have patience. Nobody's perfect, and you can have patience. When the dynamics in your household are in place, when the wife's respecting the husband and the husband is respecting the wife, this is what you want to show the kids. Otherwise, you're going to have like a million problems later. So whatever you think like you're not winning a fight, you're not winning a fight. What you're doing is you're laying those bricks for, you don't want to know. You don't want to know. You don't want to know what it is to have, I don't even want to say it. What's the use of a stressful household? Does a stressful household help anyone? You have all these kids in the house. You know, your husband's coming home into a house from the stress of the outside. At least inside, you have to think, this is your home. How do you want it to be? How do you want your home to feel? Don't blame him. Don't blame him. Because you're the one that's responsible for that peaceful household. What result do you want? Do you want to have a peaceful, happy family around your Shabbat table? Or do you want to magnify something stupid? Make your point short and sweet. And next. Don't you have anything better to do? I know you're upset, so, that's what gyms are for. Go run it off. Don't hold on to this stuff. This stuff is no good. It plants the seeds of disharmony. You want those kids to grow up and think, oh yeah, my parents used to fight a lot. I hear that a lot from people. People say, oh, when I was young, my parents used to fight a lot. Is that what you want your kids to remember? Is that why you got pregnant and had children? Is that why you're raising a family? Is that what you want? One of the biggest problems is that women are just ignorant on how important warmth and intimacy is to a man. You have to understand that how important sex is to a man. How important. You think it's important, but you don't know how important it is. It's the glue. Don't think the kids are holding your marriage together. Kids don't hold a marriage together anymore. Unfortunately. They should, but they don't. I think it's more like that. That real relationship. And you're not going to have the relationship if you're fighting. What is all that fighting? Stop fighting so you could get something done. Shabbat is your blessing. The routine of Shabbat is what keeps you solid as a rock. Those rituals, Havdalah. You can't fight with your husband because you have to make Havdalah. You can't fight with your husband because Shabbat is coming. You can't fight with your husband because, the chicken and potatoes and the chali, everything smells good. Who wants to fight with their husband? Hashem is protecting you with Shabbat. Shabbat is a blessing. You don't fight with your husband going into Shabbat. I mean, everybody knows you get that tension, like the traffic on Ocean Parkway tension, in the car, the pre-Shabbat tension, but you're not going to go into any major fight. Minimize your fights. Minimize it. Don't maximize it. Minimize it. Sometimes they say, don't talk to your husband about these things. Go call your girlfriend. Guess what? Your girlfriend doesn't want to hear it either. Your girlfriend has better things to do. And if you want to explain something to him, 10 words or less. You don't need a whole big, long Megillah. No sarcasm. I mean, what's the use of all this hard work? You're raising the kids, and you're cooking, and you're making the Shabbat, and you're doing everything. What are you giving him a hard time for? You're giving yourself a